Thanks for tuning in. This is day 78 in the journey through the Psalms. We're in Psalm 76, and it reads a psalm of Asaph, and then it says with string instruments, so like maybe a guitar or something. It says, in Judah God is known, his name is great in Israel. His abode has been established in Salem, his dwelling place in Zion. There he broke the flashing arrows, the shield and the sword, and the weapons of war. Glorious are you, more majestic than the mountains full of prey. The stout-hearted were stripped off of the spoil. They sunk into sleep. All the men of war were unable to use their hands. At your rebuke, O God of Jacob, both rider and horse lay stunned. But you are to be feared. Who can stand before you when once your anger is arose? From the heavens you utter judgment. The earth feared and was still. The earth feared and was still. When God arose to establish judgment, to save all the humble of the earth, surely the wrath of man shall praise you. The remnant of wrath you will put like a belt. The remnant of wrath you will put on like a belt. Make your vows to the Lord your God and perform them. Let all around him bring gifts to him who is to be feared, who cuts off the spirit of princes, who is to be feared by the kings of the earth. I want to point out we've been saying since Psalms 74 that the writer Asaph is writing from the perspective of Israel and Judah. Judah has been overcome by Babylon and Assyria. And we get more of this right here in verse 1. It says, in Judah God is known, and his name is great in Israel. Remember, when Israel got divided, it got divided between Israel and now Judah. The tribes got divided north and the south. And it describes it right here in verse 1. Despite the division going on with the nation of Israel, the psalmist still recognized this both groups of people, though they are divided, they are both God's people. There's no division in the church that can separate us from being God's people. Just like there's no division in Israel in the Old Testament that can separate them from being God's people. It says that it talks about a war that goes on. It's talking about war and how God rebukes the nations and how God's going to win the war. And that all the nations under heaven will be judged by God and that they will fear God. God is still in the process of defending his people, despite what Israel and Judah are going through with the nations coming against them. God is still sovereign. God is still on the throne. He is still keeping his promises. But yeah, that's what Psalms 60 or 76 is talking about. is from the perspective after, or maybe even during, war going on with Syria and with Babylon. The psalmist is still reminding himself that Judah and Israel both belong to God. I know that's a short message, but I can't really add to that. It says, "Make your vows to the Lord your God, perform them. Let all around bring gifts." As Christians, we don't make vows. But if you're married, you make a vow to your spouse and to God to be faithful. So you should keep that vow. And that's about it. I can't really add anything else to that. So with that being said, that's day 78. God bless you and see you tomorrow.